Good morning, afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. It's time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. It's time for a long hop, which is better known as a long hop, because it's a long hop from place to place, basically along the entire line. If you remember the Evening Express, you may recall that we did a long drive. It took about 70 minutes, going from, maybe a little longer, I don't remember, going from Newcastle to York. Well, it's going to take a lot longer today. We're doing a freight service, and we're going to be stopping at multiple places along the way, coupling and uncoupling things. So the train that we're leaving with is not the train we're going to be arriving with, to say the very least. Or it's going to be a train we pick up on the way, or a train we drop off on the way, or something like that. We're going to find out as we go along, because I don't really know a lot about this either. In fact, this is such a long scenario, I'm going to definitely have to do it in at least 2 parts. I might even have to make it 3 parts, depending on how the scenario is set up, if there's a better way, if it just looks better doing it as a 3-parter. I may even have to do it as a 3-parter. So you might be getting a different video from this scenario for the entire weekend, because I'm doing this on Friday. By the way, speaking of Friday, happy Canada Day, everyone from Canada. Happy Canada Day. We're getting into the month that everyone starts celebrating their independence, and I'm going to be skipping over the American holiday because I'm going to be posting on the 2nd, possibly the 3rd, if I find this scenario warrants it. And because the 4th falls on a Monday, happy Independence Day to those people as well, just in case I don't say it again. So happy Day of Independence not only to Canada with Happy Canada Day and America with Independence Day, but everyone else who celebrates their independence this month, their country's independence. I hope you have a safe celebration of whatever that Independence Day is for your country as well, because a lot of them are in July compared to any other time. So enjoy that. Excuse to go out and have a good time for a while, and enjoy an evening watching fireworks or something else, whatever you do in your specific case. In any case, let's get started on a long hop, though we know fireworks for us today. It is ferry assorted cargo consignments down the East Coast main line, hopping between freight yards. The weather's bad, weather's spelled wrong, and your train will be heavy, so there is no room for slacking or tea breaks. 2 hours, it says, and supposedly it is hard. I don't think it's really that hard. It's just challenging finding your way down the line and doing the different things. So if that makes it hard, so be it. Let's get started, shall we? Good day. We've got a challenging duty set up for you here. You'll be hopping freight between yards along the line. Your first stop is Tyne Yard, so get fueled up and head over there. Roger. So the first thing we need to do is get fuel. That fuel is a little bit far away from me, so I'm going to have to change yards here, it looks like. So how am I going to do that? We're going to hop into here. We're going to... Oh, it looks like it's already set. I was clicking around on this earlier. It looks like I actually set this accidentally and left it set, which is kind of strange, but you know what? If it's already set, I'm not going to complain. This is actually backing up. We're actually looking forward. If we look in this, we're looking forward to the buffer right now. So we need to back up, and we need to do it that way. So we're going to bring this up. Brakes are off, which I did for some reason incidentally earlier. I don't know why. The air is up to 10 miles per hour as our maximum, and we're going to change lanes to the siding that they want us to move to for this fuel pickup. So this siding is set for us. I'm going to go ahead and hop back in the cab. We're going to turn this on. We're going to turn the headlights on as well. That's not on. That is. Just to make sure I am far enough back. Here we go. That should do the job. We should be past the points at this stage. Way past the points. That's where we're going to be going to pick up our fuel, and then we're going to figure out what to do while we're fueling up. So we're going to figure out our next step from there. So, moving forward. Once again, our speed limit is 10 miles per hour. I love how they start you next to the fuel pump, but they don't let you fuel because it's one away from your track. That is really strange. I think they would start you... Well, maybe not. Maybe it is normal. In any case, let's look outside the cab, and we have arrived at the fuel pump. And it is time for us to pick up some fuel once the train actually finishes coming to a stop. There we go. Let's fuel up as we bring up that HUD. And click the button somewhere. Here it is. That does not hold a lot of gas. This train does not hold a lot of gas, I'm finding. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay, you're all set. Your first freight consignment, ding ding ding, is waiting to be shunted in siding 26 at Tyne Yard. Get to it, driver. I have a name. How many times do I have to tell you? Yard 26. Gonna figure out what we're doing now. So yard 26. Oh, that's our first pickup. Okay, so we're gonna be going via that. Okay, so we're coming out somehow. Oh, this is gonna be fun. We have to, oh, gee, brother. We have to come out here. We have to go forward in here. And then we have to make our way out somehow via the gate. Okay, this is gonna be very interesting. So we're using this to get back on the main line, and then we're going to start making our way down on the main line. That appears to be how we're doing this. So the automatic switch is set for us. It's just a matter of getting where we need to go to back up. So let's get a little faster here. Let's make sure this is properly set. Yeah, that's properly set, as far as I can tell. So we're going to put the brakes on now. We're going to be able to set the points at this stage. That's not where I want to go. I want to go here, actually. That's the point I want to set. Yeah, 2 different points here can make it a little confusing. So make sure you have the correct points set. We are set for that yard because you can see the blue line. So everything is set for us to move forward at this phase. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So back in the cab for this one. Just a reminder, this is going to be a multi-part posting. There's no way I'm going to post this as a 2-hour video. My editor is going to freak at me if I try and do that as well. So, multi-part posting this will be. How long yet, I don't know. But I hope you're enjoying this early segment of this long drive. Making our way back to the main line. We are ready to reverse to the main line right now. After the brakes finish applying. Let's do that, please. Thank you very much. And reversing again. This time I'm going to stay in the cab. So 10 mile per hour speed limit. We're going via Gateshead Gate 01. Like I said, I'm going to stay in the cab, but we are going to stick our head out the window. And we're going to just watch the main line come to us. That's what we're going to do. Now we should have clearance. Actually, I'm going to hop on top of the train for a sec because we should have clearance backing up here. The signal does indeed show that we have a green, so back in the cab. You can see the green signal right here. It looks like if you look on the map, you can see a track going across here. That track is a mainline part of the Y from Newcastle. So there you go. That's what that is. We're about to cross that right now. This signal is guarding that section and beyond, obviously. Notice all the signals say that they are EN444. EN444 is actually one single signal, but it has been used in the early routes on a lot of signals. So, yeah, that is just kind of a normal, that is an actual signal somewhere. I don't know the exact location. I don't know if we have the trivia in the community to say where that is, but I'm sure there is a railroad driver somewhere who can say, oh yeah, I know where that signal is. So we are now coming onto the main line. Reversing point approaching. I am reversing. What are you talking about? Let's get rid of that, please. So if we check here, we are on. Oh, I think we have a reversing point marked. Look at this mark right here. That's our reversing point. So I'm going to stop right here, I would say. Yeah, now I've gone a little too far. So the game thinks that I've left the path. Apparently I've gone beyond the reversing point. So we're going to go ahead and leave it up just to tell us that we are back on the path. Reversing point is once again approaching. And notice the game over prompt has disappeared. So we are back on the player path. If you go too far, the game really doesn't like it in these old scenarios. And this is a tactic that exists on Cahoon Pass on some scenarios as well. To say the very least, as a player, I do not like that. That your game can end because you just went a little too far and you didn't notice what was going on. Yeah, that's not, in my opinion, a good way to do things. So, but, hey, a train going by. But also at the same time, hello. I wasn't ready for that. Is that a red? No, it's a green. It's a warning that we're going to be changing paths. But as you can see, this is the end of the path heading to Sunderland anyway. And needless to say, that's not going to help us at all. That Sunderland is actually a location on the Northeast England route from DP Simulation. It's worth pointing out that DP Simulation's route does not include the entire East Coast main line. So the Sunderland is actually a different access point. You can actually access it from Darlington, going through Middlesbrough and other locations along that line, and you actually work your way through to Sunderland that way. The Sunderland portal is a different portal for Sunderland, so we're not going to be using that one to say the very least at all because there's no track there. So now we've got a nice long lazy drive for about 3 miles to Tyne Yard Gate 4. We're going at our speed limit of 20 miles per hour at this time. So as you can see, the game over that was supposed to trigger in a minute did not trigger because we rejoined the player path. I'm still not a fan of those setups. I'm taking a quick look back at that corner. Yeah, I guess that must have been a signal I was looking at back here, which makes sense. It might be a signal I was staring at here. But in any case, the reversing point is gone now. I don't see the yellow there anymore. We went over a little bit of a hump. We're going, wow. I was not expecting such a huge downhill. I have brakes on. I'm still not holding the train. So we're going to let the train speed up now because we are entering the 40. Thank you. This better not be a red. We had a green. Yeah, it's a yellow. There we go. So the next signal is currently red. Excellent. That might be our check signal as well to make sure that we aren't speeding. Now you want to know where we're going. Let's take a quick look at the map here. We're taking this little triangle here. So it is a red signal. It is just checking for our speed. So we are going to go ahead and slow down a little bit to make sure we satisfy the signal. And it should change to green for us as we get closer. So we're going to zoom in on the signal and confirm this. There it is. So as we get the buzzer to stop, it changes green immediately. It was one of those signal checks. So you're basically required to confirm that you see the signal changed rather than just assuming the signal changes. So going to the right takes you to the Dunstan Yards, which by the way, today is now Dunstan Station. The Dunstan Yards are gone. So Dunstan Station was reopened in 1984. You actually see this on the DP simulation version of the extension version of the East Coast Main Line. This route is required to play that, but you're going to find that those yards are gone and the station is reopened. There is a service there. That is a British freight service, as you can see. We're not going to run into him because he's on a different line, so we were giving clearance. Since we do not have any timing that I've noticed here, and I'm just going to confirm this by looking quickly at our... Thank you. By looking quickly at our service details, Tyne Yard Gate 4, we're going to go do some coupling at the... as soon as we stop up here, we're going to couple to some more stuff, and then we're going to continue via Tyne Yard Gate 2 and make our way down the line. But there's no time on any of this. And as you can see, we're going to stop at York Siding 22. So we are going all the way to York on today's journey. So we're going to get to leave some of these slow speeds behind a moment, but we have to also do some coupling before we can really do anything else. So let's just check again over here where we're going. We're going by Tyne Yard Gate 4, which is right here. We're going to couple to some cars in here. So what we're coupling to is way over there. We're going to make our way down this path, apparently. And I'm a little nervous that I could be leaving a player path at some point, once again. So this can be a little nerve-wracking when you expect a game to say, hey, we're going to screw you. So, yeah, I don't like that. We're going to make sure our entire path is set so we know where we're going for now. And after we come around in the yard, we're going to have to eventually back up into the cars that we're going to be picking up. We're probably going to be told about a reversing point approaching again too at some point, at some stage. 25 is our upcoming speed limit, so I'm going to lower my speed immediately. You can see indeed we just got a warning for the 25. I should get down in time. There we go. And off that comes. Can let the train just coast at this point. Well, forget that. They overused that message. So there should be a train track going over us here. Is that a road? That is a road. Okay. They both use a bridge. I couldn't really tell you. So checking our task for coupling Tyne Yard 26. Apparently I'm on a downhill, which I was not expecting. That's strange. I missed a downhill burst there for some reason. But we're going to Tyne Yard 26, then we're going to go to Tyne Yard 27. So they are right next to each other, and then we're going to leave via the last gate out of the yard once we've picked up our stuff. So we're going to have to follow this path for right now. I think those are the two consists right here. There's the first one. So we have to couple to these at some stage. So we're going 3, 4, 5, 6, technically 7 over. We're going to have some tracks to cover as we go back. So we're going to slow down as we cover those tracks on the way back. For now, let's poke our head out the window and lollygag at nothing. Oh, nice. Well, we got quite a distance to cover when we go back now, don't we? We have quite a distance to... Wow, did they have to put them so far back into the siding? Seriously? Well, this is what we're going to do. Let's see. I have an idea where we need to go. I just don't know if I like doing it the way we're going to do it. I have a feeling we're going to be told we left the player path again at some point, aren't we? If they set this in a way that we can't do it the way we want to, I'm going to be annoyed. No, 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 I want brakes, actually. Brakes. Okay, stop here, stop here, stop up here. Is this where I want to go? One more. Let's not go to the tying gate until we have our charge, shall we? We're nowhere near across the point yet. We are now across the point. Okay, so let's see what we need to do now. We know exactly where we're going to go. We're going to be heading to Tyne Gate 2 through here, but we have to pick up our charge before we come down here. So we have to make sure we are set to go. The path out is set. We don't have to check that. So the path back is what I now want to verify. And looking at the path back, I'm off. So where I need to go is tiny yard 26, which is the one on the right. That's where we need to go. So we're going to follow that yellow track, which means we have to go here. We have to go, well, that's already set. So we have to go, we're going to be setting this one in a second as well. So we have to get over to this line somehow. And now that I've done that, the line is indeed now set for the correct yard. So let's head backwards now, shall we? We know we're going the right way. We're now going to go back. So we're going to look behind us. Now, I have a feeling the limit inside some of these yard spaces is going to be slower. I don't know exactly what the speed is going to be in here, but we haven't been tagged for anything yet, so let's just drop it to 10 and make sure we're safe. You can see tiny yard 26 behind us marked on the HUD, so we are definitely going the correct way. This goes without saying. We are definitely in exactly where we need to go right now, which is what I wanted to see. We're only about 20 minutes, I think, into this scenario so far, so we still have a long way to go if we're still only at time. Let's check out the other window just to lollygag at the other train that we're going to be picking up. Aye. The weird flickering shadow just crossed the train there. So we're going to move 2 yards over from where we are now, and that's where we're going to start picking up train in 26, and then we're going to come forward, we're going to set another switch, we're going to head back into 27, we're going to pick that up, and we're going to make our way out at 25 miles per hour. I'm going slower than the speed limit right now, because A, we don't have timings. If we did, we'd be driving very, very dangerously right now, going 25. And second reason, because, you know, I just feel like it. So let's change back to this window for a second, because we're going to see the train we're picking up in this siding a lot better at this phase. So if we, oh yeah, we can zoom in nicely. Look at this. Let's make sure we're on the right track. There it is. That's the track we want. We're going to leave now. That's why it's so far back. The yard is that far back, literally. We probably could have done this a little bit more efficiently if we followed a different path, but I don't know if the game would have given us a game over error for doing that. So I didn't want to test my chances since we already got that problem once. I am slowing down now, as you may have noticed. Gonna get off the brake for a second. We're gonna go back on it now, and that should do the job. There we are. We've got our first set of the cars. We're gonna pick those up and go forward. The task does show as completed as well, as you can see. If you want to verify that the tasks are working correctly, bring this up, hit F6, hit F7. Let's pull away from our train for a second. Not like that, we're not. You can see all the car numbers are showing up, and same with the consist back here. If any of those car numbers is not showing up, then most likely it means there's a problem with that consist. Everything seems to be there, so we are okay. Now, what could be the problem with the consist? Well, it could mean that there is a car duplicated somewhere else at some point in any train along the route, or empty consist sitting as a sign. This is one reason you don't want too many empty consists around, because there's a greater chance for duplication of cars where there's a limited number of cars on the list. And also because, well, can have loading problems if your computer can't handle it. So we're going a little too far now. Let's make sure we get our other siding set back here. We went a little further forward than I wanted to. Actually, I should take that back. I went perfectly. I went exactly as far as I needed to because I have not crossed the next point yet. So we got... If we're going to work that way, sure. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. I will figure this out. What are you doing, train? What are you doing? Okay, now we can back up. So once again, we can go 25 miles per hour, but I am not going to because that just seems excessively dangerous. Excessively dangerous. 8 is perfectly fine because we're going to have a hard time slowing down now compared to before. We're going to have a much harder time slowing down now. Brought down to 6 now. I'm going to slow down even more. I'm actually going faster than I should at this stage. So, brakes please. Okay, that was still a little faster than I want to do it, but I did connect. We're not derailed. Everything is fine. Take these over to Ferry Hill. The quarry there has another shipment to send up, but not enough wagons. Okay. I'm going to assume what they're trying to say here is the quarry needs wagons, and you're going to provide them. That's what I assume it's saying, because the wagons at the back are empty. Meanwhile, the wagons at the front, if we check back here, I can't tell these are empty or full. I really can't tell. But the wagons at the back definitely are empty. Those are what we're going to be dropping off, no question, at the quarry up ahead. So I think I can read that one very well. I'm not an expert on train wagons, but I think I can read that one. Notice that we're going a lot slower, by the way, because now we're dragging a lot of stuff behind us. %, and my speed is going up very, very slowly, which is very interesting. Let's just go to 100%. Crank it. And even though I don't really need to, I can go ahead and set this path back, so why not just do it? So let's center on where the train is now. We're all the way up here now. We're making our way out of the siding. It looks like on here we're going a lot faster than you would imagine otherwise, but we actually are going the speed we should be, so we are good. We're going to verify our path out of the yard is completely set for us. According to this, it appears to be completely set for us. So we shouldn't have any problem getting back onto the gate, and at this point we're automatic again. So there we go. So we got one more yard to work our way through here at the tying yard. One more set of tracks. Our path through is set for us. Maybe this is the sign that you're normally set to go through when you're picking up stuff, and only if it's crowded you have to make your way around. I don't know. Speed limit is now 40 miles per hour, but we have to wait until our entire train crosses the point. Actually, you gotta take that back. That's when we get to the gate. We're not at the gate yet. But we are definitely clear for the line. There's a signal further ahead that will provide further clearance for the line. Oh, be quiet. Go via Ferry Hill Gate 3. So we're going to have a bit of a drive now. 17.5 miles to Ferry Gate 3. And then we'll pick up another objective there. We're going to start heading up to 40 miles per hour, so time to crank that throttle. Apparently our train is having trouble doing this. It's a 1 in 69 gradient, so the train is really challenging us right now on this gradient. Once this smooths out up ahead, we should be able to get back up to a good speed. This might be a good time to go ahead and just review our objective when we get to Ferry Hill Gate. So we're going to be dropping off some cars at a siding, Ferry Hill Siding 4. We're going to go then head right out via Darlington. So we're not staying at Ferry Hill very long. We're just doing a drop off and leaving, and then we're heading to Darlington. So 3 miles away, we're going to have another couple things to do there. We're going to head to whatever up arrival gate siding is, but that's probably near York. Then we're going to do some stuff around there, and we're going to finish around York. So, yeah, not a lot of yards to stop at, but enough that we have a little bit of variety in the journey today. We're getting up to 20 miles per hour, so this is taking a while to get up to speed. I would say fantastic, but it's actually mildly annoying. It's also a normal train situation. It takes a lot of speed up when you have a big freight consist behind you. Notice the 55 mile per hour speed limit coming up in the distance. That will soon apply to us, but not yet. We're still going yard speeds. And there's nothing I can do about that. Oh, now we're really starting to speed up. Okay, suddenly we are gaining a lot of speed. Must have been because a good part of our train was stuck on the hill back there. Once the entire train cleared the hill, we started gaining speed quite dramatically. So I'm moving my throttle down to a lower setting to finish speeding up here. We're climbing onto a 1 in 198 gradient right now. We're getting an alert for something. What is that? We have a yellow for some strange reason. Okay, cool. So we're going to have another signal check up ahead, which means we're not going to be able to go too fast. Excellent. So I'm just going to slow it down now because we have a yellow. We are expected to drive under caution. And by golly, we're going to drive under caution. I don't like it because we're coming into an uphill, but what can you do? 55 speed limit will apply to us momentarily, and this signal check up ahead, which is what I assume it is. I don't think there's another train coming here. I take that back. There is a train coming here. That is what we're going to have to wait for. Good thing I slowed down. So I've taken the brakes off for now because you can see the AWS ramp coming up. I actually went ahead and pulled back from it. We're going to cross it. We're going to find that the red is going to stay put probably. Nope, it changed green. We are good to go. We can proceed. Okay, we are safe. But there was a train coming, and I was concerned for a moment that might be a problem for us. Thankfully, it was not. That train might be slowing down for us, actually. That appears to be exactly what's happening up here. That train... Nope, actually, I take that back. It's on a line that we're not going to touch. We're not touching that line, apparently. So now that we've slowed down again, we can't get up to speed again. Thank you, game. Excellent. Now we're starting to get up to speed again. Now notice the green signal ahead for trains heading in that direction. I don't know why it was set, because for a moment I thought we were going to be going that way, but that is a dead-end track. This train indeed did wait for us. This is the train that was waiting for us up here. There's another train that's back here that I saw. No, I didn't. Maybe that was the same train. I don't know anymore. I am not 100% sure anymore. In any case, that train waited for us. If you want to know who that was, that's 1453 British local. So he was waiting for us, and wow, what did this just do? That was a little wacky. We're now entering a 125 mile per hour track. Just a hunch, we're not going to get anywhere close to that. We are not going to get anywhere close to that speed. Boy, good thing there's no timings on this scenario, huh, guys? So a nice snowy day here in northern England. At this point, because we have a long way to go to get to anything near the speed limit, which we're not going to get near anyway, I'm just basically sitting back watching the train speed up. Speeding in this will be a challenge. What do you mean I've already sped twice? Stop. They shouldn't have happened either time. I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, moving on. Now, I don't have my station list in front of me. I'm going to bring this one up just to show you we are still passing by stations here. This indeed was Chesterley Street? Chesterley? I don't know. But I will bring up the information from here, and I will try to confirm stations from here on. So according to my information, the next station coming up will be Durham Station. So Durham is still a little ways away. I do not have a specific indication where that is in relation to ferry. But you know what? Let's go ahead and find out. There's always a way to find out, wouldn't you agree? Let's bring up the HUD, or the map rather. Let's go ahead and stop centering on me for a moment as I click to go via. We're going to notice Ferry Hill Gate is up here where the line junctions off to the Thurslington Quarry sidings. And if we look on the map up here, we can see that the station is apparently not in this section. Oh no, wait, the section, yeah, we're going to see Durham before we see the sidings. So there we go, Durham is going to be seen before the sidings, so get ready to see Durham Station coming up. There's a 65 mile per hour speed limit, so I'm going to go ahead and lower my throttle quite a bit right now. In fact, let's just coast, because we know we're going to be going down to that in a moment anyway. Bit of a bump there as we change gradients, it looks like. So here's our 65 section right here. Gonna put a small amount of throttle on to try to maintain. But that seems to be gaining way too much speed way too quickly. So I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. you can't even see the train on the HUD anymore. I can literally just see a small red mark. That small red mark indicates where I am. It's kind of hard to know beyond that where you are on this HUD. So this can be a little challenging, but you're going to see where the sign crosses in case you can't see the mark. You're going to notice the speed change now as I pass that 65. That's about where on the HUD I'm located right now. So I've gone back up to nearly a 50% throttle to try to regain a little speed. We do have an 85 coming up that will apply to us. We're taking a bit of a right turn at this time. The right turn is going to take us by what was known as Hall Junction. There's a railway line that used to connect at Hall Junction. That would be the Leamside Line branch. It is no longer there. That branch connected to another set of lines that went through Leamside, which is somewhere to the west of us. Or sorry, east of us. Somewhere to the east of us. Wow, I thought I got down in time. That's going to mark me as a small speeding there. Again, not a huge deal. I think if it wasn't for the computer doing the measuring, no one would have noticed I was speeding there. Computers. They will out anyone. So we've now passed the entirety of the Hall Junction area, I believe. We're going to have another right turn coming up. That right turn will take us to the Relly Mill Junction. I almost went too fast again, but now we can speed up. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're now in an 85 segment. We are going to pass through Durham before we come to the previously mentioned Relly Hill Junction as well, the Relly Mill. The Relly Mill Junction is for a line that, again, no longer exists. Was that Durham right there, actually? That might have been Durham we just passed. It was Durham. Look at that. Taking a quick look at the map coming up, you can see that there are no lines going off. This is around where the Relly Mill Junction was located. There are lines that used to go in this general direction right up here. So that's the lines that come in that were in that area. I'll tell you in a second. That line was a Scotswood to Durham via Consett line. That's what that route used to be that I was showing you where it's located. We're not gaining speed really at all here. But there's a downhill coming up, so we are going to gain speed on that. Let's be a little more careful. But that's where the Relly Hill Junction is, and then as we come to the end of that, of the curve, the left turn that we have here, we're going to come to the Dearness Valley Junction, which also cross with tracks there. But none of them are there in this route, none of them are there today either. Bridge House Junction, as it used to be known, is coming up there as well. So if anyone were to do any of the routes covering any of these areas, you might see those junctions put to use in those routes connecting to the East Coast Main Line. But even back in the 70s, 80s when this route was conceived to be, these lines were already knocked off by beaching. So if you get a 50s to 60s version of this route, needless to say, a lot of these railway lines would be recreated and would exist again. And there'd be steam engines everywhere. Now we are about 6 miles from the Ferry Hill Gate. I'm still not 100% sure where on the map I'm studying where that is located, but we are going to see it on this map regardless, whether we see it on the other map or not. There's a 65 coming up, so we're going to take the throttle off. We have a downhill gradient, so let's just put a little brake on immediately. Make sure that we control ourselves coming into this lower speed limit. There's the warning for the 65. Notice we're not getting AWS warnings for the speed limits. We're just expected to know back that I believe that the speed limits were coming. You can see that this train is gaining speed with no throttle or brakes on, so we are going to have to maintain brakes to keep our speed coming down. It looks like a small brake application is doing the job on a 1 in 149 gradient, so we are okay keeping the speed a little higher for the time being until we get up there, and then we can bring it down again. We are now under 5 miles to Ferry Hill Gate, number 3. We are on a left curve right now. We're going to have another small right coming up with that as well. The right curve will take us through what is known as the Trursdale Junction. The Trursdale Junction was the connection to the Leamside lines. That was another route that went through Leamside. Leamside used to have a lot of train routes that led to it. Now it has absolutely zero, which is a shame. Leamside no longer has any rail access. So there's another 85 coming up. We are in this 65 segment for the purpose of it being a 65 segment. I don't know what else to say to that. In fact, only because I know we're going to reach Ferry Hill Gate soon, maybe I should not apply too much more throttle, just to make sure we can stop up ahead. The HUD is showing us 1.5 miles in advance. We have a little over 3 miles to go. We're being given a warning. We're probably going to be given a requirement to slow down for a signal, is what I'm guessing. Was that a yellow signal? I didn't even see the signal. Okay, because I didn't see the signal, I'm going to have to slow down. I really don't know what's going on here. I have to drive under caution because I didn't see what was going on. So we're going to take a peek ahead here. We do have a green, so I'm not... Oh, no, that's the other track. That's not us, is it? Or is that us? I can't tell. I don't know anymore. We have a blaring noise. What are we being alerted to? The signal is not marked. I don't know what we're supposed to do here. Well, that is a weird little problem, isn't it? I'm going to drive very, very cautiously because I don't know what's going on here. Let me just check the path up ahead. Well, that could be a... Oh, no, it's set for us. The path is set for us. We're being warned somehow. Oh, I think I know what it is. Those were supposed to be flashing yellow signals. So those would have been fine. The next one is going to be the signal that's going to tell us to ferry over to the left. In fact, you can see the yellow, static yellow there. And the junction indicator. So those were flashing double yellow and single yellow signals. We were being guided to slow down for the purpose of this changeover with a 40-mile-per-hour speed limit. Because the signals were not blinking, the normal procedure when a signal is not working is to drive under caution. But we were not being given any permission to pass the signal. The yellow changed to green, by the way, which meant that we were allowed to pass the signal. We just didn't know what the signal was. 58, there you go. It's actually 85 from the other direction. So we are clear to pass. We were clear to pass the entire time, but because these signals do not always work on these old routes, we had to treat it as if it was a caution situation. My attempt to pass again was not registered, which means we were cleared to go the entire time. That is a sharp turn. That is a very sharp turn, and we're also going very fast. 40 feels fast for this track, for some reason. So there is a track back there. That track, you'll notice, does go off into the distance towards Sherburne. So so it also went through Shincliffe, it looks like. Leamside, as I mentioned. Sherburne was apparently back there somewhere. Okay, well, I'm learning something. We are passing the Truesdale Junction at this point, I believe. And we're also going to be passing the West Cornforth Station Junction and the Coxhoe Junction coming up. The Ferry Hill South Junction is the junction we're going to actually be looking for, because that's going to be around where the Ferry Hill Gate is located. That's on a left curve up ahead. That left curve is probably where we're going to be stopping up ahead. So we are still under a 40-mile-per-hour speed restriction. We're going to have a 25 coming up. You can see the junction up on the curve ahead, or on the HUD up ahead here. We are coming up to about 50 minutes or so into this scenario now, so we are nearly 1 hour in. This might be a good time for me to take the break once we finish our work at Ferry Hill. And then I'll go ahead and I'll do a save off camera. We'll pick up from there for the second half of the scenario. That seems like a good way to do this. So I may actually go ahead and end the first video here at Ferry Hill after we do our drop-off task at Ferry Hill Siding 4. So let's get our speed down just a wee bit more here. We have a yellow, so we are going to be stopping at the signal up ahead, or rather it's going to probably be another signal telling us, hey, you have to slow down. Double yellow on the other track. That means that we're probably going to be rejoining the track up where the signal is red. But for right now, because there's no trains on that track, the signal is assuming that it is clear to access that track. Notice there is an end of line up ahead, so we are going to have to figure out when we get there what's going on. So, quick look at the information up ahead here. If I'm going up to here, oh, this is where I'm going. Well, that's interesting. Not this siding. Okay, this is going to be very interesting. So I have a feeling the line is set to push you in the siding if you're going too fast. That might have something to do with it. There's a train up there, by the way. 1455, British Freight. You can honk back, buddy. So again, we're going to probably be pushed aside here. I don't know why, because we're not doing our drop-off here. Where are you taking us? Okay, you're moving us over to the siding line over here. We're then going to apparently... Why am I here? I assume that's what I should be doing. The line we were... Just to review on our task here. Let's go to this HUD. You're going to see that we need to go down to here. So if I went into the siding as it was directed, this was the trap. If we followed this siding as it was set, we would have been going into this siding, and that would have been the end of the game. Thank you. So we could not have continued into that siding. We did not want to continue into that siding. So notice we have the green signal up ahead. We can go up ahead. So we should be okay here. Yeah, we're not following that siding. That's exactly what I did not want to do. So that was the potential trap in that scenario. If we did not pay attention, we would have been crashing into a barrier here, and that would have been the end of the game. So you have to pay attention to exactly what is set where. That's a case where you could have actually destroyed your game. So going slow worked out for me because I had to figure out what my path was doing, and as a train driver I would have to come up to that and know that I need to stop there to change the siding, or radio someone to do it for me because they were stupid enough to leave that set. Like, why they would not leave that set for the main track, I don't know. I don't know why they would leave that as one for a train driver to deal with. Thanks, guys. Sloppy work by the yard hands there. But let's check where we're going up ahead. We're going to Ferry Hill Siding 4. Right now we're set... Where is Ferry Hill Siding 4? Oh, I'm going right into Ferry Hill Siding 3. 4 is next to it. So I probably want to go here, and here. That is Ferry Hill Siding 4. We're going to do our drop off there. We're going to do this as our way out. I'm going to have this all set for me. And that's all set for me. And where am I being moved here? Right now, that is moving me onto a siding I do not want to finish in. And that will take me back to the main line, and we're going to be good again. So, I've got my path now set. Let's pull into Ferry Hill Siding 4, shall we? Boy, they didn't say we're going to have to change all the sidings here. No wonder this is a hard scenario. I can see why this is a hard scenario. Things are not all set for you, and you can game over easily after an hour without knowing what you're doing. There's a signal box, I believe. Has nothing to do with the yard, just with the main track. You're responsible for moving around the yard yourself. Speed limit up ahead is going to be 85. I don't care right now. So as I'm pulling into Ferry Hill Siding 4, this is a good spot, I think, to end the first scenario. So I'm going to say make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to come back for part number 2, which is going to be following right behind. I'm going to wait a day to post part number 2, because I'm going to make this my Friday and Saturday posting. So this is the end of our Friday posting. If I can start slowing down. Slow down, please. Slow down, please. I could actually go a little further, because I'm basically dropping off the back cars anyway. Who cares? But in any case, we're going to go ahead and end that video here. So let's go ahead and do our drop-off. We are going to drop off what? Let's just verify what we're dropping off here. So, pop in, that is the front of the train. Okay, what am I doing? That is the front of the train. So let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Just to get a nice bird's eye view. We don't need you anymore. Yet. So the cars we're dropping off, I assume are just the empty wagons. So I assume this is where the numbers are going to be that we're splitting off. 350856. If we look at the task, there's 350856, and then, then 81, and so on and so forth, 98, 938. So those are all the cars we're going to be dropping off. There's no 8s in that. So we're going to go ahead and take these cars. We're going to take them out here. And the task is going to be done. So I'm going to move forward a little bit. We're going to go ahead and take a very small pause here. I don't want all these guys. Why are they still attached? Guys. There we go. Why did they reattach? You saw me complete the task, and yet the cars somehow got reattached. I don't know why. But in any case, let's just stop here for a second. We're going to pause here for a second. I'm going to get back in the cab. We're going to be heading to Darlington South, gate number 3, which is 11 miles from here. And then, as we continue in the scenario, we're going to proceed into York. York is still a good 56 miles away. All of that is going to take place next time. So I'm going to see you more then for that. If you are watching the playlist, I'll be right behind this. In the meantime, I'm Cycling. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it is for your part of the world. And I will see you for the next scenario, if you stay with me, in 3, 2, 1.